What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching 8 live UK sports tragedies. We just recently, well, not really recently, it was a few months ago, but we did a reaction to, I think it was the Bradford City? Yeah, the 1985 Bradford City Stadium fire. And dude, that was probably the most catastrophic tragedy to ever happen in sports. Like, that was so insane. So I would not be surprised if that was on this list. But dude, it's always so scary when like these things happen and it's caught on live television. Like, it's one thing to be like watching the show and it happens, but imagine the people that were actually there. Some of y'all watching could have been there, so please, if you were, let me know. Or maybe you had family members or something that were there. But we're about to get into it. You're on YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, drop a like for more reactions like this. Go check out my channel with me and my girlfriend Anna. We've been uploading a lot over there, so y'all go check it out. Link down in the description. But other than that, let's get into it.
Among those who died on soccer's blackest day were many lifelong Liverpool fans.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and in this unranked list, we're looking at tragic moments at sporting events that happened live on television.
Dude, I didn't even think about like racing. Oh gosh. Oh, my mind was on like football and other sports like that. I was not even thinking racing.
2023 Grand National. We're starting not with human tragedies, but animals.
I didn't even think about horse racing. What the heck? Dude, this was literally like the last thing I expected to see on this list.
And they're off for the Randox Grand National Handicap Chase.
Some fans of horse racing will say that horses dying during the race is a sad but unavoidable part of the sport. However, the number of horse deaths at the National has been increasing for years. In the 2023 Grand National, 4 horses ended up dying, bringing the total since 2000 to 63.
At the first in the National,
4 horses died?
Cloudy Glen made a very bad mistake and he is unseated rider.
You'd think that with increased safety measures and better veterinary care, the opposite would be true, but the race appears to be getting more lethal as time goes on.
What is that thing they're jumping over? Is that just like a bush? What? I've never seen this before. How are they dying? Is it because they're jumping like that in that big group? Like,
prompting an investigation from the British Horse Racing Authority.
And it is Cocoa Beach that leads the way. Mr. Coffee is prominent, and so too is Lifetime Ambition ahead of Manila Trump.
Whether you love the Grand National or hate it, it's hard to deny that greater measures should have been taken to protect the horses.
yeah, like, I mean, if they're dying, something wrong. There's something wrong. Like, something needs to be checked out. Because, hey, I'm from Kentucky. You're speaking my language with horse racing now. Come on. But, like, we watch horse racing all the time here in Kentucky. Of course, Kentucky Derby and all that. And, like, you hear about horses dying, but mostly it's from, like, just, like, health complications. Maybe they had, like, a bad trainer that, like, worked them too hard. Something like that. But you never really hear about horses dying like mid-race or like because of the actual race. Like, it's very rare. It's definitely not like, what, 60 or even like 4 in a year. Like, that's crazy. There's something wrong there.
Especially when it didn't used to be this way. Jules Bianchi.
Formula One lost a much-loved member of the paddock when Jules Bianchi passed away.
This.
The most recent person to lose their life in a Formula One race, Jules Bianchi's loss was devastating in 2014. He was competing in the Japanese Grand Prix, which unfortunately coincided with a typhoon, leading to exceptionally difficult conditions.
It was a very unlucky timing and an unlucky position to lose the car, which led into the accident, so our thoughts are with him.
He crashed into a recovery tractor, losing his life 9 months later after being comatose.
Wow. Wow. See, I did not know that. I've heard about this, but I thought like once he wrecked, that's when he passed. I did not know he fought for 9 months. Wow. Dude, that is scary. That is so scary. Racing in general is like really scary to me. Especially them dang man TT races. Bro. Oh my gosh. You gotta have balls of like triple reinforced steel to be doing all that. Dude.
Shockingly, in 2022, a similar thing happened again, as a recovery vehicle went onto the track in wet conditions, with race organisers being called out by the drivers for making the same mistake twice.
Yeah, it sounds like you probably shouldn't be racing when, you know, the roads are wet. You might just need to, you know, delay it until it's dry.
Now, and there must be something we learn from that, and so that we avoid something like this happening again.
Hopefully, organisers continue to learn to make the sport safer for its drivers, in a sport where one mistake can be lethal.
That's true. That is true. Like, racing like that, that's like one of the sports where even the slightest mistake can end so tragically. That is scary stuff.
Simpson.
Simpson was now facing his own private battle to survive the mountain.
For more than 100 years, the Tour de France has been a highlight of the sporting calendar, with cyclists competing throughout the summer. It's been broadcast live since 1929, when it was first put on the radio.
1929? Broadcasted live? Cheese and rice. That's crazy.
Live on television since 1948.
Almost 100
People around
years.
the world watched as British cyclist Tom Simpson began to struggle in 1967.
Au début, je savais pas. J'ai bien vu un coureur qui était tombé.
It appeared
Oh, it's a truck. I thought that was a helicopter. I was like, we're under attack. There's something going on.
that the heat began to get to him, and while cycling up Mont Ventoux, he collapsed. Simpson had been ill for much of the race, a combination of many factors, including the weather, stomach problems, and the fact he'd been taking amphetamines. His death on the mountain that day was a great loss.
Simpson had demanded that he was put back on his bike.
Et nous arrivons à la hauteur de Tom Simpson.
He went another 500 yards before collapsing again.
Christian Eriksen.
Wait, so he fell off his bike and collapsed, and he was like, no, put me back on my bike, and went 500 more yards? Hey, that's a warrior right there. That is a warrior. That's crazy.
And UEFA had confirmed, this is the official information, and this was posted just a short time ago.
Thankfully, Eriksen survived this harrowing incident at the Euros in 2021. During a match between Denmark and Finland in the group stages, Eriksen collapsed.
The player has been transferred to the hospital and has been stabilised.
Medics arrived quickly and found that he'd had a heart attack on the pitch, with his teammates surrounding and shielding him from view. He was resuscitated on the field and conscious when he was taken off on a stretcher, with the players themselves later deciding that the match should go on.
Really shocking scenes, really worrying scenes. I mean, thankfully, we're looking at pictures of a man who is sitting up. He's awake. He's in hospital.
He was in hospital for nearly a week and had a long recovery.
Bro.
Though in 2022, he returned to the field to keep playing internationally for Denmark.
That is a young guy like that. Not just a young guy, but a young professional athlete, like top tier in shape, having a heart attack? That is crazy. Wow, I can't believe I haven't heard about that.
Eriksen has since said he doesn't remember the incident.
Wow.
Pier Mario Morosini. Like Eriksen, Italian footballer Pier Mario Morosini also suffered a heart attack during a match.
What the heck?
Tragically, Morosini didn't survive.
In Italy, thousands of Livorno fans descended on the Armando Pichi Stadium to pay their respects to Pier Mario Morosini.
This happened in 2012 in a match between Livorno and Pescara. It happened just weeks after Bolton footballer Fabrice Muamba also collapsed during a match due to a heart attack, though Muamba recovered.
What the? Why are these guys having heart attacks? I mean, I guess just running that much and putting your body under that much stress, and I guess that makes sense, but that's so crazy.
Morosini was only 25, with his whole life ahead of him when the incident occurred.
25. Wow. That's scary. That he was only 3 years older than me. Like, wow.
But he passed away despite being conscious when he left the pitch.
The 25-year-old collapsed during Saturday's game at Pescara and was pronounced dead on arrival at hospital.
Medics tried to resuscitate him for 90 minutes and said his death was unavoidable, though they were later found guilty of manslaughter for, quote, failing to comply with medical protocol.
In an emotional day for the Italian club's supporters, the solemn ceremony provided them with a chance to say goodbye to one of their own.
So wait. They were charged with manslaughter? What happened? Bro, I need to look more into that. That's crazy. So I wonder if they just did something wrong, or if maybe if they did something else, maybe it would have potentially made him survive. Wow, that's insane.
Bradford City Stadium fire.
There it is.
On the 11th of May 1985, supporters attending a match between Bradford City and Lincoln City experienced this immense disaster, with 56 people ultimately dying and over 250 injured.
Most of the 52 people now known to have died in the Bradford City fire disaster were children or old people, according to police tonight.
Mid-match, a fire broke out, and it had engulfed the entire main stand within minutes. People were trapped, and to make matters significantly worse, The exits had all been locked, preventing many from escaping.
They're examining personal possessions and dental records to help with identification.
Valley Parade had barely been altered since its construction at the turn of the century, despite multiple warnings over the years that it was a fire
like
risk.
you can tell because just how fast everything caught. Like, and there was also like a bunch of trash underneath the stands that just like fueled it. But yeah, that whole section of stands needed to be redone so bad. It was just really old and really brittle and all dried up, and like, as you can see, caught fire very easily. That's so, bro, that's so insane.
The fire brigade say Bradford City were warned 6 months ago the ground wasn't safe. The club chairman has denied this.
People around the country watched the fire and its aftermath on television. The scenes were deeply harrowing. Death of Ayrton Senna. The 1994 San Marino Grand Prix was marred with tragedy from the very beginning.
Schumacher trying to take Ayrton Senna. Now let's see if the Brazilian moved across. Indeed he did.
2 people lost their lives during the event. The first was Roland Ratzenberger, who crashed during the qualifier. And then 3-time world champion Ayrton Senna, who had a horrific accident while in the lead.
Weaving this way and that way, but Senna won't let him past. He's got the racing line, he's going to keep it.
Spectators and viewers at home saw the collision happen as Senna hit the wall. He was quickly reached by medics, but his head injuries were much too severe. He was still alive when he reached the hospital, but ultimately couldn't survive the serious head trauma and blood loss.
Wow.
You either commit yourself as a professional racing driver that is designed to win races, or you come second.
Senna was given a state funeral in his home country of Brazil, and safety was hugely overhauled for the sport in the aftermath. Hillsborough disaster.
The crowds have been making their way to Hillsborough again today, many fewer and in an altogether different mood from that of yesterday afternoon.
This devastating tragedy might be the darkest day in football history. 97 total victims have been claimed by Hillsborough after a lethal crush happened at the Leppings Lane end in Hillsborough Stadium, Sheffield.
What?
It was just before lunchtime that the Prime Minister arrived at Hillsborough.
Today, we know that South Yorkshire Police was to blame for the tragedy, overcrowding the pens. Not only did police action cause the disaster, but the police also concocted stories in the aftermath that blamed the fans themselves for what happened.
Senior South Yorkshire officers, in the absence of their own chief constable, declined to discuss the policing of yesterday's match.
So wait, they got crushed, like just from being in the stands? Because they put too many people in there? Oh my gosh, I've never heard of this. We'll have to check this out. Wow.
Left at once.
The match wasn't broadcast live from the beginning, but live news coverage quickly began to air when the scale of the disaster became apparent, and many remember watching it happen at home.
I was at the match yesterday and saw firsthand the tragedy before my eyes.
Let us know if you saw any of these events unfold live.
Well, it's just tragic, isn't it? You know, everyone's devastated. They've all got somebody.
It makes it so much worse when, like, maybe, just maybe, it could have been prevented. But alright guys, that is going to do it for today's reaction. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. Y'all let me know some other sports tragedies that might have happened that maybe we should check out. That Hillsborough, I think I'm saying that, Hillsborough. That one I think I want to check out, because I've never heard of that one before. So if y'all want to see a reaction to that, y'all let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go out today, spread love, spread kindness, do something nice for somebody today. I love you guys so much, I really do. JTReacts, I'm out. Peace.